Crap, wrong thing. Hey, no one can hear me though. I don't know what's going on. The Jay White. Don't know what's happening. Uh, okay, good. I thought this time around my mic was off, but luckily it wasn't because I've been having trouble with keeping my mic on. I do not. Oh my god, I almost knocked over my mic. But I do not do post reviews of AEW Dynamite or any type of wrestling show, so this is like a first. But I would not be able to sleep with myself tonight, knowing that Jay White appeared on AEW programming so casually. I mean, he's one of my favorites in Bullet Club, aside from like Tama and like the rest of them, because I've grown to love them. I just got to get used to like El Phantasmo and stuff like that. But generally, I am a huge Bullet Club fan, and so to have Jay White just show up just like that and with no prior notices or anything of the sort, it's sort of like, yo, what the fuck is going on, right? Like, as you can tell, I'm all giddy and everything. I have my big ass smile. Just because Jay White is one of the best out there. I always put him over as one of the greatest storytellers out there. And you know, oh, Bama, Bama, what's up? Thanks for joining me. I don't even know when he said I can hear you but can't see you. Oh, so I left it on. That's what happened. Okay. Uh if you weren't here for like the beginning part of my live stream, which I did earlier in the day, I kind of figured that let's see. Hold on. Oh, okay, I see what happened. Let me just oh, okay, got it. All right, because Bama, sometimes I forget to if I'm doing like transitions over in OBS that like I either forget to mute myself or like don't mute it. But okay, cool, awesome. I just wanted to like be like, oh, okay, awesome. Yeah, so I am like super fucking giddy about this. Like, first of all, he gave me a mini heart attack. Second of all, he's such a fucking badass that he just comes in and you see his jacket. And like, this is probably gonna be me like fangirling this whole fucking time. Which you guys are just gonna love. You're gonna fall in love with me. That's what you guys are gonna do. Um, yeah, standing there like a badass in that leather jacket with switchblade on the back, and just being a total badass. And there is history here. So while I am gonna be fangirling over this, there is history here. And let me take you down memory lane. So before Jay got into like, no. I was not during Jay's excursion. He ended up doing a lot of Ring of Honor stuff because at the time there was Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling helping each other out with like the excursions and stuff. So not only would Jay White be around like Alex Shelley, but he'll also be around Trent. And Trent was also around the Young Bucks for like forever and shit like that. So there's a lot of history there. Adam Cole came in a little bit later. I do have to look up if they ever crossed paths. I don't think they did. Which, by the way, guys, I did a whole entire character spotlight on Jay White. It's in my archives of at anchor.fm/Square Circle Podcast, where I go through his whole entire history. And I love doing the entire research for that. So, yeah. This is going to be quite interesting. I love the fact that I'm going to be jumping around here, so don't mind me. But I love the fact that Adam Cole is all like, "Oh, we could trust Jay." You don't trust Jay. You don't do that. You probably can trust him from afar. I'm guessing like if you're part of Bullet Club, you can definitely like trust them if you want to. I mean, it's working out pretty well for Hikuleo and Chris Bay to trust Jay White, but then again, Hikuleo is so freaking tall that like, why would you want to double cross Hikuleo at any point in time? Why would you ever want to do that, right? Um, but then again, Adam Cole is all like, once you're Bullet Club for life. And I just think that when they kicked out everybody, which was a good thing that Tama kicked out everybody because I couldn't stand that fucking Civil War. And if Tama just happens to be scrolling by Twitter and sees this on Twitter and sees me talking about it, please do not have a Civil War coming up. Like, I couldn't take the first one and I can't take another one, so don't even try it. Just because I'm like, yo, it's not needed. And whatever happens, obviously don't kick out Jay White. That's just me trying to save his ass. Anyway, now that best friends are in chaos, I really do think that chaos and like Bullet Club are arch rivals and arch nemesis for like infinity. I don't know if they're ever gonna stop fighting each other. So like when I saw that of the Young Bucks again attacking Trent and Rocky is everywhere. I'm just like, yo, Okada needs to like show up. Like I think that if we want to talk about favorites, Rocky is probably Okada's favorite. And so I just think that, Okada was probably going to show up one day and, help out Rocky and Trent because he likes both of them. And then we could have that story where we could definitely have that story where it's like Okada's like, "Oh, Young Bucks, I thought you were, friends. Like you were so good to me and stuff like that." Because if you guys remember, the Young Bucks usually say that they were always there for Okada, especially when Okada was on his excursion type of thing and he was in TNA and he was friends. He ended up being friends with the Young Bucks. So we could have that story. The only thing that I don't want to happen is Jay White signing with AEW. I really don't want that to happen. New Japan just fits Jay White all around. And New Japan allows Jay White to be himself. I'm not saying that AEW is not going to let him be himself, but with all the segments that happens on AEW, I just don't want his to like kind of flatline. No, not at all. So yeah. Uh I gotta like get my thoughts here because I know I'm jumping around, and that's only because of like Jay White showing up in AEW. It's like a what the fuck. And then I really want to go into like my prediction because this isn't insider knowledge as much as I like love hanging out with Bullet Club members. But it's not insider knowledge. It's just me putting two and two together. And if I am right, if what I say on this live stream comes out to be true for next week, then you guys better start calling me a journalist with integrity, because that's how things go. Um, but we'll work our way up to that. We will. I really don't have a good thumbnail for this thing too, but you guys, like I said, you guys are gonna get me at 100%. This is unedited and stuff like that. So yeah. Um, Let me just tell a few more people. Um, so I usually do not watch AEW because of just the things that they do, the decisions that they make, the segments that they make. I just don't really agree with it. And that's why I don't really watch. So like with this, with Tony Khan being like, "Hey, I got this big surprise. I got this big surprise," and it's like, okay, cool. I usually like surprises, and I like surprises if they're not constantly being told to your face, constantly being tweeted out, or even like written in articles to kind of remind you for it. Like, you know, you could just tell them maybe once or twice, and then leading up to Dynamite, you could be like, "Hey, don't forget we have a special treat for you guys. Make sure to tune in." So we all tuned in just because we were like, hey, let's see what he got, right? Because sometimes you want to see if it's going to be a dud or if it's going to be like, woohoo, a really great surprise. Um, Other than that, uh, this one, this episode was really good, and it's probably just because of Jay White. And we gotta talk about Hangman. But before we talk about Hangman, the stuff in between, we should just quickly talk about uh the tag match that happened between CM Punk teaming up with John Moxley, taking on FTR, and the stipulation was that if CM Punk wins, he basically gets to have a rematch against MJF. Uh, but let's just stop right there and let's just dissect that. No other person that has went against CM Punk has challenged CM Punk to a rematch. Does anyone have an explanation for that? Because I thought it was kind of weird. CM Punk comes out, has his promo, tells MJF that he wants a rematch. He has his tag match. He wins. By the way, that tag match went a little too long. A little too long, but how everything fit, it was fine. Given the showtime, it fit perfectly fine. But that tag match did go a little too long. And however, I ask again, why didn't CM Punk's past opponents ever ask him for a rematch? How does CM Punk get the ability to ask for a rematch? Is it because he's considered a legend in the business? Like, I don't understand the parameters. I don't know if anyone out there in Twitter world or wherever you're watching this, like if you could give me like a reason, and if you're watching this or listening to this via anchor.fm/Square Circle Podcast for the audio, and then watching this later as a VOD, you could definitely drop your answer down in the comments. But okay, I got to shut this off because it's gonna annoy the hell out of me. But yeah, where does this rematch clause come from, and how come the other opponents that CM Punk defeated, how come they don't get a rematch? How come Wardlow doesn't get a rematch to destroy CM Punk? How come Will Hobbs doesn't get a rematch to destroy CM Punk? How come none of those guys got a rematch, but it's okay for CM Punk to get a rematch? And even if, oh, I was gonna say, and even if he does, hello, he actually did. I'm sorry. And he does get a rematch. You know, if he wins against MJF at like Revolution, what is that going to do? How is that going to help? And I think, okay, so Bama said, I got to read it off my phone. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm apologizing. Bama said, because Punk beat them clean, MJF didn't beat Punk clean, so he has a gripe to ask for a rematch. And MJF didn't have to grant it, but his arrogant idiot self gave him the chance to earn one. Which is cool. But the whole concept of this whole entire time, right? That means the other opponents who lost to Punk. And, you know, when you lose to somebody in a very competitive sport, you sort of want to gain back your integrity, your standing, you know, whatever you want to prove, right? So like it's a competitive sport, and I could see that. I totally understand where Bama's coming from by helping explain that. However, it's just kind of weird of like Punk is the only one that asked for a rematch after he lost. Whether he lost clean or not clean, he still lost. He suffered a loss. So him asking for a rematch is kind of weird where the other ones didn't do it. You know, I'm trying to explain it in a way where like you could sort of like see the perspective on that. You know, it's like, again, is Punk doing that just because no, wrong thing, wrong question. Why do I want to be like, is Punk doing that because he's a big name? Okay, so maybe I should ask that question. Is Punk doing this because he is a big name, and then all the rest of the opponents are just like, ooh, I had the opportunity. I was in CM Punk's like vicinity, you know, that should rub off on me. His star power is not rubbing off on any of the opponents that he beat in the past. If anything, since CM Punk is asking for rematches, his past opponents should ask for rematches. Freaking Tama, man. Just so you know, side by side, I have my OBS open, and I also have Twitter open. And, you know, of course, you know, Tama pops up on my page. And look at me, fucking like smiling and shit. But yeah, Tama has a right to definitely give that look to Adam Cole, saying that once you're Bullet Club for life. Like, nah, motherfucker, you got kicked out. You were part of like the Ring of Honor fucking whack ass Bullet Club over there. You know, nobody ain't claiming you, Adam Cole, for fucking Bullet Club. I know that. Not even you, like trying to say that you were leader. You weren't a fucking leader. Yeah. By the way, I probably should not have these two open while I'm talking about this, but it could probably help me with like try to remember stuff. Because if not, this whole entire live stream will be, you know, the Jay White live stream. It won't be anything else. Not at all. So yeah. Getting back to that just very quickly, it's just the little things, you know. If they want to like tell really good stories, this is what I was saying before on my other podcast episodes, again, archived, that it just felt kind of weird that Punk was going through all of his opponents, trying to tell this story of like, he hasn't wrestled in 7 years and he doesn't know if he still has it and like all this bullshit. And his opponents who are still young in the business, all lost to CM Punk to build up CM Punk. And the moment that Punk suffers a loss from a young talent, he's all like, no, I need a rematch. It doesn't matter if he lost clean or not clean. It's the idea of, if he can get upset at a young talent, why the young talent can't get upset at him? You know? All right. Besides that, that tag match was really good. I do know that, like, on Twitter, of course, people are going to be trolls and people are going to bully other people, which is not cool. But there was, one of my fans on Twitter, and if he sees this or whatever, he's gonna know who he is. He he's very opinionated, and I'm hoping it's a he. If it's not, I'm so sorry. But the way when I interact with him, I think it's a he. Um, so he's very opinionated, which I like people who are opinionated. And he did say on Twitter, has FTR had a better run in AEW than like WWE, or like vice versa and whatnot? And like, it's not cool to bully people. Yes, FTR put on a fantastic tag team match against John Moxley and CM Punk, where I was surprised that there was story inside the ring. I was really surprised about that. So, uh, you know, sometimes, uh, if the wrestlers do not wrestle, right, and they're just in segments, segments can fall flat. And that's why people will say that, oh, they were treated better somewhere else. I don't think it has anything to do with the wrestling, because we do know that they're a really good wrestling tag team and they love tag team wrestling. It's just of how they're presented. If they're not presented as strongly as they are in the ring together as a unbeatable force, then yeah, we're gonna be like, oh, FTR was better here, FTR was better there. So don't give my buddy a hard time just because he has an opinion that you think that is stupid or is worthless. Everyone has, their opinions. If you don't like it, keep it scrolling. But other than that, like, it's the way that wrestlers present themselves. Not every segment is going to be like A plus. Every single match that FTR is going to be in is going to be great because of their psychology in it. You love the match and this and that. It's just that at certain times, if they're not being presented as strongly as they are in the ring, that's why we as fans will say they were better somewhere else. Batman said FTR definitely need to be pushed better, but until they leave the pinnacle, they won't be because MJF and even Warlow will outshine them, just like Santana and Ortiz. I'm sorry. They just need to be on their own. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I remember when the Pinnacle was first formed, I was still watching AEW and I was still reviewing AEW. The only problem I have is that, like, when it was formed, it was like, why? Why do we need another group? I will say this because I probably said this in like one of my other podcast episodes, that New Japan Pro Wrestling knows how to do their stables and factions way better than like anyone else. And AEW should be thanking New Japan Pro Wrestling for creating a lot of stables and having a lot of people in there, because again, they're taking a concept from somewhere else. And the idea in AEW is to make sure you have friends with you, friends in high places and stuff. So like, AEW, just go thank New Japan Pro Wrestling for me. And this live stream just might be like pro New Japan Pro Wrestling, just because. Um, I mean, first of all, I need to acknowledge my shirt. I need to acknowledge my shirt because I wasn't expecting Jay White to show up on AEW and then me wearing a Breathe with the Switchblade shirt. So yeah. But yes, once FTR leaves the Pinnacle, it'll be great. Santana and Ortiz should have already left the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle should have already been disbanded Sammy Guevara needs to go out on his own because that dude can market himself. He doesn't need anyone else behind him. I really forgot Jake Hager was still part of AEW and the Inner Circle. Jericho could start doing stuff behind the scenes. It's totally okay. Who else is in that group? I think I named all of them. That whole little segment, uh, hold up. See, this is why I don't like Tony Khan. And this is why it's probably a good thing I had this open. According to Tony Khan on Twitter, I didn't secure Jay White until Sunday. I realized after the fact that Friday night I butchered my own definition of Forbidden Door in hyping tonight. I heard the fans' feedback and wanted to ensure that tonight was a special AEW Dynamite for all. Thank you for all who watched. What? Does he mean like secure Jay White as in like having appearances or like being part of the AEW family? Because I need Jay White to still be part of Impact and New Japan and Bullet Club and like I don't like this. I don't like this only because um I don't trust Tony Khan and how he builds his stars. I don't like this. This is not fucking cool. Um what? Uh I'm really gonna need Tama to like explain this to me. I really do. Uh because I really don't like this. Um I really don't. I just hope it's like by appearance because again, I don't like the way that Tony Khan structures his the shows. I never want to see Jay White be on Dark or Dark Elevation. Like he doesn't deserve to be on there. And then Rampage is at 10. Like what the fuck? Uh yes, I'm sort of freaking out about that. Like he didn't secure Jay White until Sunday. What the fuck is this? This is not no. Um so yeah, I am definitely gonna have to like talk to people I know because I just don't like that. And I always say that wrestlers should be allowed to go where they want to go and be happy where they want to be happy. But like, freaking AEW right now is like stacked. I am surprised that Hangman has a fucking spotlight on him right now after that Texas death match. But like, what the fuck is happening? And this is the cool part where like, nothing was really spoiled. That's one thing. And I'm not thanking any of the dirt sheets out there. But so but Jay White is still doing the tours. He's still doing the US of J. I mean, you would consider him to be to be what do you call it? Fuck. That whole shit messed me up now. Uh I guess I was gonna say it's still part of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like, no. How the fuck am I supposed to sleep now? God. You guys are getting a one of a kind live stream. This is like pure fucking reaction time to this. And I probably would have sounded the same way on the podcast, just audio stuff. Um, but I really don't think. You know what? I'm just probably gonna move on to a different segment. At least you guys like got my reaction for that, but I just don't fucking like it. Um, I really don't. Um, I don't fucking like it. Um, are you really gonna start dropping frames, OBS? Like, you know what? Hold on. Ugh. All right, so I hope that my live stream is still going. Um, I really do not like that. Does he also mean that, like, when he messed up on his definition of the forbidden door, that like it could be Keith Lee too? Because I really don't like that. I really need someone in chat to like console me. I'm only this way because I'm like, yo, I just don't sort of like that thing of do whatever you want type of thing in a company. Just because like sometimes, just things just don't work out, or like stuff is cut short and whatnot. Yeah. Uh I am definitely gonna need an explanation from Tama. I'm definitely gonna need an explanation for Tama. Like, what the fuck is happening? Um, I thought Jay White still had more years on his contract, unless he's doing like a double contract. Um, and all that kind of shit. Um, man, again, how the fuck am I gonna go to sleep? There is way too many questions, and I don't want to start poking around, asking people stuff. Just because, just because this fucking sucks. Jeez. Uh, man, I fucking hate it here. Like, uh, all right. So, other than that, right? Like, I still don't like the idea that AEW secure Jay White. Like, I still don't understand what that means. Because I don't know the behind the scenes of what's happening with people with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and stuff like that. I don't really ask those questions because I really don't need to know. But it doesn't seem like, you know, uh, Jay was like upset with New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, if anything, I can definitely understand why, like, a David Finlay can sign with like AEW or something, or like maybe Juice Robinson signed with AEW. But for Tony Khan to say that he secured Jay White, what the fuck? I'm probably gonna stay on that for like ever. But um all right, so moving on to something else on AEW Dynamite. I do want to mention that Jade Cargo has definitely improved. And that's something that I want to see from like all the women. All the women need to improve, and you could definitely see it. Sometimes I think that, the women don't train enough with each other and stuff like that. And and yeah, she put up a wonderful match against AQA. And I like the fact that they gave AQA a little bit of a shine for like a backstage promo to introduce herself, because I was like one of the fans of like, I have no idea who she is. Um so that was really good. Um so yeah, hopefully we get to see more of AQA in AEW. And I really want Jay Cargill to really do this open challenge to like any of the females that want to come through that quote unquote forbidden door. Um, and yeah, I really want to see her put the belt on the line and really elevate it. Um, that was a really fantastic match, and I said it on Twitter that AQA has one of the best looking, smoothest shooting star moonsaults. Um, Other than that, we had like Serena Deeb doing her 5 minute challenge, which is something nice. I can't wait till like we get Deonna Purrazzo onto AEW. If you guys can get Jay White, you guys could get Deonna Purrazzo too. Like I'm just saying, like you know, Deonna needs to be on AEW. Um, so yeah. Um, Other than that, what else happened? Other than that, we had I guess we can wait, did I cover everything? Uh I don't really care for the MJF segments. Um what do you call it? Uh oh, let's talk about I guess the ending then. Um just give me a second. I still have to get over that fucking shit of Tony Khan saying that he secured Jay White. That shit is bothering me. If anybody in the if any viewers out there want to keep me company and like console me, I'll love that. Um anyway, so let's talk about that main event then. Um you know, I never want to see a champion put on these amazing matches, right? Because if they go from 0 to 100, eventually their body is gonna you know, yell at them and all that wear and tear that they accumulated over the years, like some shit is gonna go down and they're gonna get really injured. That's why sometimes I think that taking unnecessary bumps, you don't really need to. But for this one, I'll kind of let it pass only because of the story and stuff. So yeah, you know, even before the bell rang and we saw Hangman Adam Page come out and he attacked Lance Archer right off the bat. I was like, where the fuck was this Adam Page at? Like, you know, that's the type of Adam Page I want to see carry the title and be like, you know, he's sick and tired of everybody trying to get a one up on him, trying to walk all over him. You know, he understood what that felt like, especially with him going after Kenny Omega and like being at the bottom of the barrel. And sometimes the only growth of that as a character is to really turn around and be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And definitely be like, I'm going to kick your ass. We could say that could be borderline like Stone Cold, how Stone Cold would do it. But this is Hangman Adam Page. You know, he'll still do it in his own way. And because he came out the gate very strongly to attack Lance Archer like that, it's like, yo, keep that same energy for when you like do your promos, for when you interact with people, because now it's all about you, and you finally came back and got the title. The title's yours. You know, act like a world champion. Act like, you know, someone that wants to bring AEW into a new era. Um, and show the world why, you know, they should believe in you, why they should tune in every single Wednesday, like be that forerunner. And you know, he should have at least had a interaction with Jay White, because they had dealings too. I always bring this up that like 4 years ago, when it was New Japan Strong Style Evolved, Jay White was IWGP United States Champion. Hangman was going for it, and like I keep saying, Jay White destroyed Hangman Adam Page in that promo. And the only thing that like increased was Hangman's ability to show up and show out in the ring. His interactions, not so much, because he's still following people around almost like a little puppy dog. But this time around, it looks like he might just end up becoming his own man. And that's what I really want him to do, is become his own man. But again, he slightly did not really prove Jay White wrong, 4 years later. Other than like, maybe starting to prove he is his own man. So I would have liked to see some type of interaction, maybe next week in Nashville, which you guys gotta like stay with me here with this, right? Because this is not insider knowledge. And it's not insider knowledge. This is just me putting two and two together. Where it's basically like taking stuff of what I said. So next week, AEW Dynamite is going to be in Nashville. That same week, February 19th, is No Surrender by Impact Wrestling. We know that Bullet Club is going to be at No Surrender because we have Jay White taking on Eric Young. And we have the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tangaloa taking on the Good Brothers. And hopefully taking the titles, because I can't stand the Good Brothers with the titles. Other than that, that's happening in the span of that week. So that means that we're definitely going to probably see Jay White show up again on AEW Dynamite. And we might possibly see Tama show up on Dynamite too. Like, my boys are taking over. Bullet Club is finally fucking taking over like how they should. And start doing these stories that they want to do and stuff like that. Hopefully it's not a fucking civil war. If it's a civil war, I'm just gonna be upset. It's a civil war, because I can't deal with another civil war. I really can't. Anyway, so that's happening. So if I am right, I'm going to be predicting that Thomas shows up next week on AEW Dynamite, just because it will make everything so smooth that they're in Nashville. You go to AEW Dynamite like Wednesday, you have a hotel, you stay there until like Sunday, Monday, and you go back home. Just because you can fulfill AEW obligations and Impact obligations too. Obligations. Whatever, it's tired. It's 10:52. It's about to be 11, and I am hyped up because of fucking AEW. Anyway, yeah. So this is definitely a short stream. I don't know if anyone who's viewing this want to throw in some questions for me. Because if not, I'm just gonna stay on the fucking Jay White shit. Just because. Did I miss anything? Oh yeah, and by the way, for those of you listening to this on audio, I am talking to my chat. So, yeah. I guess now I'm gonna have to like tune in next week to be like, you guys better not fuck up Jay White. You guys better not fuck up Tama. I swear, like I said this on the professional podcast. we're gonna call it the professional podcast. That I love New Japan so much that like I really don't like how AEW handles New Japan wrestlers. I understand the concept of oh, okay, I know what I could talk about after this. I understand the concept of, if that New Japan guy is not going to show up next week, then what's the point of him winning and whatnot? Well, guess what? If he beats an AEW star, send that AEW star over to New Japan and like have them do cross promotion and shit like that. If they happen to like travel to Japan just for like those couple of days, let them travel to Japan. And start, building a fan base over there of like Japanese fans, because the Japanese fans are way more supportive. I was gonna be like than here, but then I'm gonna get like a lot of burner accounts and people getting angry at me. But send that person over there, let them build up a little fan base, and then like send them back over here, and that's what you do, right? Like, and then you could televise it on the YouTube show. AEW does not take advantage of YouTube like how they should. They really should. They should invest in a marketing team too. I can definitely help out with that. But yeah, it's just that sometimes the legacy of these New Japan guys are like really good, and I would be the first to admit to be like, yeah, they should go over. Um, Depending on who it is, if they are a big name, I really would suggest to invest in DQs, just because it saves them both. Eventually, you guys know we're probably gonna get Okada. Eventually, and eventually I want Osprey to show up too, just because he called out John Moxley, and I said that um, Osprey better win that match against Moxley. Moxley has hit or miss matches for me. So yeah, ever since it was Moxley versus Kenta, that match was that match. Let me not talk about that match. Anyway, um, there is one person that I totally forgot that, I did not even mention at all. And that is that Keith Lee debuted on AEW. Keith Lee signed a contract with AEW. He is now all elite. Congratulations to being in AEW. Hopefully that, it shakes up the roster and all that. I don't know. I was never a Keith Lee fan, so I really can't say anything at the moment. But I could just say congratulations for Keith Lee coming over to AEW. But I think that's everything. Unless people in the Twitch chat and over on YouTube, if you guys have like any questions, you can get them in quickly and I will answer them. And then I'm going to go bother people because I still can't believe that freaking Tony Khan is like, he secured Jay White on Sunday. What the fuck does that mean? Someone needs to tell me what that means. Like, I hate it. I fucking hate it. I really do. And I think I hate him more just because of like, there's not really a good track record that AEW has when it comes to. Look, I just don't want my favorites to be fucked with. That's all. I definitely do not want my favorites to be fucked with, and you guys can consider this to be gatekeeping. I don't care, but yeah. For a boss that says, "Hey, we have too many guys. I'm not sure if I can, re-sign them all." Well, you're hiring too many people. Like, I wouldn't trust you after that. Like, yo, you're hiring way too many people. You're not focusing on like your core people. And you should be. Other than that, like, what do you call it? Um, yeah, I have a lot of fucking questions. Hold on. All right, so no one is in the YouTube chat. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm eventually gonna keep talking about the same thing, but I think I covered everything from AEW. I don't know if these are gonna be a regular thing. This was just a spur of the moment. I'm gonna try to get some sleep, even though I still have a lot of questions. You guys would definitely be able to see this on Spotify. Spotify gives me the ability to put up video on Spotify. And then the audio version, you guys would get it on anchor.fm/square circle podcast. And then everything would just be on VOD. So, you guys would have it there. You guys can listen to me freak the fuck out and have a really good reaction to this. And I think this is the kind of reaction that, like, you know, Tama and like Bullet Club like thrives off of. This is all genuine. This is not me acting or anything like that. Like, I was generally like, he gave me a fucking mini heart attack. Hearty attack. Hearty attack. I was definitely wrong earlier in the stream when I said that I think it's Jeff Hardy, because he made the most sense. If this whole shit is like Jay White and um Keith Lee, which, by the way, I think I figured something out. See, this is bad. This is so bad. I think I figured something out. Until I see a fucking all elite sign that says Jay White is all elite, then I probably shouldn't be freaking out as much. Because I do not see that at all on the timeline. Remember, I have both of these guys open. Both of these stains open. Not guys. I have both of these stains open. And I only see like the all elite for Keith Lee. Then it's okay. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. You know. I don't know what I want to do tomorrow. Yeah, because it's only 11, so it's like an hour to like midnight. Yeah, so as long as I don't see that all of like Jay White is all elite, I think I'll be okay. But I have like questions. I really do. Okay. I'm gonna stop talking. I know you guys love to hear me talk, love to hear me ramble. But I'm going to stop it here. Like I said, I do not know what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow. So stay tuned to my social media, which you guys should be following me at Marie_Shadows. That would definitely help me. I usually post on there to be like, hey, I'm going live or whatever. The other thing too is that I did not even mention the sponsor of this live stream. It is Raid Shadow Legends. If you guys want to help me out to calm me down, I guess, there is a link in the chat. It's my special link. Click on it, download it, pass the tutorial, use my promo code, get more cool in-game goodies, and you can play with me on stream. I will eventually be making a clan, so you guys could do that. If you guys want to, there is the support me at Ko-Fi page, which is basically better than Patreon. I have a shop over I have a shop open. I have commissions open. I have membership tiers. They start at 99 cents, go all the way to $12. This is basically a free video until then. You never know. But so head over to www.kof. I'm fucking shit up because I'm tired and I'm just still, my mind is still going. Head over to www.ko-fi.com/Marie_Shadows, where you can support me there. Support me on Twitter at Marie_Shadows. Like I said, this video will be out on all major platforms, including the Rad Rob Radio Network as well, and even on Amazon Music. I put up my podcast there as well. And if you guys want to, I am writing a wrestling novel, so if you guys want to check that out, I have to put that in the chat because it's not popping up because, everyone is so intent on hearing me lose my mind about shit. So, what did I put as the command? Is it this? Nope. Nope. I have no idea what I put. Nope. when you try to remember your own commands and it doesn't work. Um all right. So eventually if I do a stream tomorrow, you guys would know, and then you guys would know about my novel and stuff. But yeah, so that's everything. Like I said, I normally do not do post show reviews, but I had to do it for this one because Jay White showed up. And this is probably gonna be titled um What the fuck Jay White? Probably, I don't know. But him along with Tama, like they're like my favorites. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to the Square Circle podcast, where I did a post review of AEW Dynamite. Again, you are listening to this over at anchor.fm/, Square Circle podcast. That's the audio version. Video version is on YouTube, Twitch, and also Spotify, because Spotify allows me to do videos. Hopefully, this could be a thing going forward. I don't know. If you do, you guys are more than welcome to message me over on Twitter at Marie_shadows to let me know if you want more of this, and I could try to set it up to where I can do these type of reviews. I'm just waiting out the time so it could be an hour long just because I want to. So I hope everyone has a wonderful night. This was fun. This is very authentic for me to do this for you guys. But I will be watching very closely to see how AEW handles Jay White. And I swear, if like Jay White loses, that's gonna be a whole nother shit to deal with for me. You know, yeah, we'll get into that like another time. I'm not gonna get into that now. But again, this live stream is sponsored by Ray Shadow Legends. If you're not already playing, you should be. You can play it for free on mobile and PC. And I'll see you guys on the next one.